Welcome back, everybody, to Las Vegas, Nevada, here for EVO. Burnout Tuzman chips a big problem, and he gets the headbutt on the comeback.
Stacked Dragon Ball Fighters tournament of all time.
Oh,
¡Ahora yo!
grab! Seals the steal! Ninja Killer!
Moai's got it! EVO 2023 Type Lumina champion.
It would be mad funny if there's been audio the whole time, just not in our heads.
Yeah.
Doosh, doosh, doosh.
That's right.
Imagine.
That's right. Yeah, that's how it sounds.
But no, wake up 5P. Check from Leffen. Again. 4 times. Count it. 4 times. Freebird, your Street Fighter 6 Evolution 2023 champion.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to EVO 2024, presented by Chipotle. Give it up! I'm one of your hosts, L.I. Joe, alongside with the legendary Persia. Persia, what's going on?
What is going on? EVO 2024 presented by Chipotle is going on. And we have so much action ready for not only today, but the entire weekend.
3
It is
days.
going
We got 3
to
days.
be amazing. I am looking forward to it. Even taking a look around the venue right now, we see Capcom, we see Cygames, we see 2XKO, and that is just a few of all of the amazing things going on. What are you looking forward to the most, though, Joe?
Honestly, I'm really looking forward to some of the announcements this year. There are a lot of games that I'm interested in playing, so seeing what they have coming up in the future, that's personally one of my favorite things, but there is a particular game that is coming out that has piqued my interest, and if you're in the building, you can actually get your hands on it. Persia, what game are we talking about?
Of course, the one and only Hunter Hunter Nin Impact is
No
in
way.
the building, and
Hunter
we are
Mansion.
going to be able to talk with a member of the team about the game as well. So if you want to learn more about the game, this is the place to be. It's coming up next. I'm personally very excited about it. I'm looking forward to it.
You know, being from New York, I have to love Marvel. I have to. I have no choice. It's part of what we do. And just seeing that game, you could see some bit of love, a little bit of Marvel-esque in there. I'm very excited to play it. Again, I have no choice being where I'm from. But yeah, if you are in the building, you can get your hands on it. We're going to learn a whole lot of information in the next coming minutes, right, Persia?
Absolutely. And we're also going to see some gameplay. Oh, I don't know if I was supposed to say that yet. But we are. So get ready because it's going to be hype. I'm excited to check it out. And I'm excited to also talk to Braun from Arc System Works America more about the game. And also, he's going to help show all of you what to expect when you're playing the game as well. You know, a little bit of tips, a little bit of tricks. But I'm looking forward to it.
Are you going to get your hands on it at all?
Oh, I'm absolutely gonna try to get in
All
there.
right.
I want
All
to press
right.
some buttons.
All
I wanna see what it's all about for sure.
Cool.
But yeah, so Joe, I'm gonna have to part ways with you for now, but we're gonna circle back a little bit later.
I don't get to play Hunter x Hunter?
Well, honestly, you can go to the booth and play it while I'm chatting.
I'm going to
right?
go to the Hunter x Hunter booth while you get to play it up here.
So now I'm jealous. We're gonna switch roles.
I will leave you to it. Please enjoy Hunter x Hunter, and I'll go enjoy Hunter x Hunter over there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yes, everyone, we are going to hop into a quick little panel, a special Hunter x Hunter edition of Arc Live here from EVO. So I'm going to be the host, and we're going to welcome on Braun from Arc System Works to talk a little bit more about the game. So going to have a seat in these fancy chairs. Yes, give it up for Braun. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing us more about this game. Everyone's very excited. I know you heard the cheers in the crowd, but yeah, how you feeling? How's it going?
I'm a little bit tired. Getting into EVO has been a trial, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me on for this, and let's talk about Hunter x Hunter.
Yes, of course. So, as many of you know, Arc System Works has announced they will be publishing Hunter x Hunter Nin Impact in the West. So, we brought out Braun, of course, to talk a little bit about it in detail. And we are going to have a couple of short videos to share. But
couple.
before we get into the details,
Is this the rest of the
I
characters,
think
man?
we should go ahead and check some of those videos out, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm really here just to stand in. You know, let's get to the people who really can tell you some good stuff about the game.
Yeah, let's get to it.
My name is Takahashi, the producer for Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact from Bushiroad.
This is Biscuits
ブッシュロー
dude.
ドで、ハンターx ハンターネンインパクトのゲームプロデューサーを務めております高橋です。本来ですね、現地で直接お話しさせていただきたかったのですが、当日参加がちょっと難しくなってしまい非常に残念なのですが、ただどうしてもお届けしたい情報がありましたので、ビデオレターという形でお届けさせていただければなと思っております。本日ですね、エボというファイティングゲームとして非常に特別なイベントでネンインパクトの情報をお届けできることを大変光栄に思っております。今回アークシステムワークさんのブースでですね、ハンターハンターネンインパクトのデモプレイを行っておりますので、ぜひ触っていただければなと思っております。はい、早速ではあるんですけども、今回エボのために、新たなキャラクターの映像
Who
を
is it gonna
持
be?
ってま
Is
い
it
りました。
Moro? Is it?
であります。
There's a lot of characters it gonna be.
どうぞ。
Is it the Ant King, bruh? Yeah.
ありの奥義を積めるもんなら積んでみな。
Mirror room.
飛車角落ちといったところか。まあ、すぐに積んでやろう。遅い。遅い。
His tail.
死ね。乱してやろう。面白い。
Big cannon.
逃がさぬ。逃がさぬ。
Is this level 3? Whoa, it got on for a while.
たわいもない。
That was really short, yeah. I thought it was gonna be him jumping around for level 3.
はい、今回、新たにご紹介させていただいたキャラクターはメルエムになります。はい、このキャラクターはですね、非常に攻撃的なキャラクターになってまして、例えば一部の技のリーチが長かったりとか、瞬間的に飛んできて奇襲を仕掛けたりとか、触っていて非常に楽しいキャラクターになってるんじゃないかなと思っております。ただね、映像だけだったり説明だけだとわからない部分があったり、あとはね、実際触ってみないとっていう部分も
The
あるとは思う
the
ので。
chop to the end wasn't like it's cool, but it wasn't like as dramatic as it could be. Like I think it would be better if he was jumping around, or if he was like him just even him just taking like a huge bite out of you, it would have been like crazier. I feel like.
まだ私有してない方も、もう私有してしまった方も、どちらも非常に楽しめる内容になっているかと思いますので、ぜひ触ってみてください。最後に、もう一つ、ハンターハンターネンインパクト。
Actually, even the cannon level 1 might have been better. Level 3, to be honest.
お届けしてステージにお戻ししたいと思います。では引き続きエボを楽しんでください。バイバイ。
Oh, cool. He looks like a game opening. No way. Hisoka shining. Oh, Kai confirmed. Razor confirmed. Muro confirmed. That's everyone else. Interesting choice of Razor. I wouldn't think Razor would be base roster. Pretty interesting. Gentru. Wow. Bisky. Razor. Really interesting. And Kite. Please give Kite more slots than just his 3 slots we've seen him use. Everyone lined up like that is actually fire. That's crazy. Ballin. Hey, this is fire, bro. Hey, they went off for this opening. Torpedo for sure DLC. There's some characters like like Illumi, Pito, like they're just like, oh, they have to get in the game, bro. None of the Royal Guard are in the game. They're all just easy DLC, bro.
We get our first look here at the opening video. Looked so good. And we also got our first look at the new character that has been added to the roster, a well-known villain from the
New
series.
character, dude. We saw everyone else.
We are already starting off strong. But yes, I actually want to know some more about like the finer details, because we saw in the video that sometimes you really have to get your hands on it to know. So where would you like to start in terms of kind of breaking it down into the finer details here?
So we've got a whole bunch of breakdown information, and a lot of this is, you know, focused on new players. So if you're unfamiliar with tag fighters, if you're unfamiliar with fighting games, if you're just a Hunter x Hunter fan, this should give you a pretty good idea of where everything comes together. So we should be able to get in immediately into the slides, and there's a decent number of them.
Yes, so we'll have some visual aid to the educational segment of this. I'm honestly looking forward to just learning more about the details here. We have the slides up on the screen as well, so let's just hop right into it.
Sure. So if we can head over to the first page. This is really just going to go over your average game screen. If you're a fighting game player, you know everything that's going on here, but for everybody else, the strength gauge up at the top, that's your health bar. You've also got the time limit. This game is going to have a 180-second timer, so big, long rounds. It's a tag fighter. You've got a lot of time to try and survive, because I've seen some great people do some pretty nasty things. There's recoverable health. You can see that marked there in red. There is the aura gauge down at the bottom. That is for your supers, your aura arts. You've also got the overgear, which we'll get into a little bit later. And then there's your reserve characters. So the rest of your team are right there below you. You can see the status. If they're lit up and still colorful and pretty, they're alive. If they're grayed out, maybe you got a little smoked. So we'll go over a little bit on the button layout here. This was designed very much for pad players to be very, very comfortable, for new players to be able to come in and pick it up. You can see the core attacks there as well, all the general buttons, and we'll get a little bit deeper into that in a second.
So let's, so we talked about like the health bars, all of that great stuff, but I actually want to know more about the rush button, the quote-unquote easy combos. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so this is a little bit more of an option, and we'll have to go back a little bit to go over more of the buttons, but for the moment, we'll go through the rush button sequence. So by holding down L2 and pressing any of the standard attack buttons, light, medium, or heavy, you're able to use auto combos. Now, this means that you can play the game completely normal, but if you're a new player and you're coming in and you just want to see pretty colors and cool moves, you're able to bring that into your gameplay. This also means that you're going to have to worry a little bit about the startup of your attacks. If you start with the light one, it's going to be fast, it's going to be easy, but it's going to do a little bit less damage. Medium, middle of the road, heavy attacks, that's going to be a little bit slower. So, you know, you've got the option there. It's a good way for you to get into the game, get a feel for how each character plays before you start getting into the nitty-gritty of how do I want to optimize combos? Are they a point character? Are they more of a backup assist? Do I want to, you know, tag them in on certain setups? Do I pick this character entirely for their tag? The rush system will let you get a feel for the character before you start trying to make really complex decisions.
And I'm taking a look at the button layout a little bit right now as well, and I'm actually curious, you know, was there anything kind of influencing you all to go with this button layout?
So the Bushiroad team really wanted to focus on a easy button layout for you to be able to pick up and just play, make it easy for pad players because they knew a lot of people were going to be coming in from Hunter x Hunter. You can see we have a standard arcade stick setup there as well, but the average person coming in probably is not going to go out and buy their first stick. Hopefully, maybe there's some people here who are first-time Evo attendees who are going to get really enthused. but the original button layout was designed around pad, designed to make that a little bit easier. Same with how skills are set up, so I can talk a little bit about how each of the skills and the arts work. The arts button is set to L2 or R2, and when you press that, you're going to want to use one of the other basic attack buttons to determine what move you're going to be bringing out. So we have Gon's patented Jajanken stance. Holding down the R2 button will allow him to go into said stance, and then pressing one of the other buttons and releasing, that will do, rock, paper, or scissors. He can also do a couple of those in the air, so he can do he can get a little crazy with it. But that's just kind of the baseline for how art's used. When you're in the middle of rush combos, those arts will come out naturally. Same with supers. It'll really take you through the whole process, but when you want to start expanding upon your gameplay, you want to start optimizing combos, you want to start setting up really, really sick mixes, this is sort of that first step. So we can go a little bit into assists as well, because I haven't really gone over into the fun of the assist system yet.
Okay, yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. I love tag fighters, so the assists are always a huge core part of any tag fighter. I'd love to talk more about that.
So you've got 3 assists per character, depending on direction. So holding neutral, forward and back, and down. This gives you a wider array of assist skills. It also means that you're going to be able to call in some assists while on defense to try and get people off of you. I know a lot of people who've gotten to try the game are real big fans of Leorio's assist, where he punches the ground and a big fireball comes up, and just setting that up for a couple of different options. But as a new player, really the main thing to think about is your assists are there for you to bring in the character. You want to be careful. They don't have they can get hit coming in, so maybe don't always spam your assists, but you've got associated assists on L1 and R1 depending on each character. So your first and second character on your assists. You're able to call them in fairly frequently. Looking at the portraits will tell you whether or not you can call them in again. And then when you're going to switch characters, you're just going to hold down that assist button. So holding down L1 or R1 will bring them in to tag them in. Again, do that with care. When you're first starting out having fun, tag them in, go as crazy as you want. When an advanced player comes in who's played a lot of tag fighters shows up, be a little bit more careful with your assists.
Yeah, and we're all obviously on the tag fighter information train, but I would love to hear more about that tagging system specifically.
Yeah. So actually, if we can stick back to the previous one, we're not here just yet. So tagging in and out is going to feel pretty fluid. The characters come in from the top side of the screen, so you'll see them flying in, depending on what the type of assist is. Some characters will show up right next to you. Netero has an assist where he literally teleports on top of you and then punches you, so be careful about that one. Additionally, you've got some characters have a little bit more defensive assists, things like Kurapika's in that realm on the defensive assists. If you're looking for some stuff that's a little bit more offensive, Hisoka just throws in the bungee gum, and don't get me started on Hisoka. I've been bodied by a number of people playing him in the office. So there's a pretty wide variety of assist options. I'd say the easiest way to start getting into it is find your point character, whoever your favorite character is from the game. If you're Gon, Killua, Netero, Hisoka, any of those core ones, as well as the characters coming down the line. Figure out who you like the most. Maybe that's gameplay, maybe that's because you love them from the anime, it doesn't really matter. And then just start trying in a couple of the different assist options. We've seen that when really advanced players get to play the game, they very much are able to just kind of do what they want. There's a lot of flexibility in the game. There's a lot of option for combos. There's a lot of option for creativity. We had some players playing in the media room yesterday, just coming up with crazy options and different stuff. So really just have as much fun as you can with the game, and pick based on who you think is cool. I don't pick for top tier, pick who you think is cool, especially right now.
I love that. I love that. And great advice, of course. So obviously we have a full set of assist options built in for a variety of situations, but I would love to go over the supers and how overgear works, because that sounds really interesting. Would love to hear more about it.
So starting off with supers, you've got every character has two types of supers. You've got your 100% aura art. So the aura gauge down at the bottom is that super gauge. You've got your 100%, that's your level 1. Those are quick, big bursts of damage. You can chain them into others, so you can spend meter to call in a backup assist later, and I'll talk about that mechanic when we get a little bit deeper in. And then you have your level 3 aura arts, and those are the big ones. This is going to give you a lot of damage. It's going to spend 3 bars of your aura gauge. Beyond that, you've got the unison and switching arts. So unison arts is where you call in the added assists and keep the same character you're using. You also have the ability to then call in your additional supers and then swap a character in and out. So a lot of damage will come off of those. They're fairly easy for you to execute. Very simple input. Just it's hard for me. It's the impact plus arts button at the same time to do the given super, and auto combos will actually go into super if you have meter. So again, starting out on the game, new to it, just trying to use the rush combos to be able to get the game going, it will automatically use super if you have the meter. If you have level 1, it'll use level 1. Same with level 3 if you have that much meter, or you might actually have to call that one in. But it allows for you to, as a new player, get directly into using all of your skills. There's nothing gated behind execution when it comes to just using all of your tools. You want to get really creative, you want to set nasty mix, you want to make your friends rage quit and throw the controller. That's going to take a little bit more practice. But as far as getting into any one given element of the game, it's already there, it's easily accessible.
Amazing. I mean, I really like the idea of like, okay, we have these combos that are ready for you. It will actually in the super as well, because if there's anything about learning a new fighting game, sometimes you get that hit, but you can't capitalize on it with damage. But here, you have that option right out of the gate. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, we gave you the Bushiroad team was able to come up with a system that allowed for new players to just, there's a little bit of button mashing in there, but still to be able to have some fun. And then additionally, once you start getting more creative and getting into more complex and advanced skill sets, the options are there. Right now, rush combos are good.
Okay.
They're efficient at the moment, like damage-wise, option setup. I've seen people start, do half a rush combo, cancel it into a secondary mix so they can rescale the combo. But rush combos right now are still pretty good. So hold L2 and have fun.
Yeah, smash all the buttons. My favorite way to play, honestly.
Yeah. So I guess we can now get into Overgear, which is the other sort of really core mechanics of the game. This is a little bit of a comeback mechanic. It's also got a couple extra things in there. So turning on Overgear will give you a big boost of damage. It will also reduce chip, make you a little bit faster. You'll start recovering health. So it's a big turnaround opportunity for you. You can use it if you want to really early offensively, but the duration is based on how many characters.
I don't really say anything because I kind of heard all this before. It's kind of waiting.
Kind of maybe I need to finish off a character because they're really, really good at that character, or maybe I need to just save this for the end. It depends on your playstyle.
Interesting. I also find it interesting that it eliminates chip damage. So can your character die to chip?
You can lose characters to chip.
Ooh.
So there's a number of advanced mechanics which we'll talk about later. Things like push blocking, different ways to get the opponent off of you, different defensive situations. One of the things about Overgear is because it reduces chip, you can use that to hold on. So there's options to say, I'm about to lose my point character. I'm up with advantage. Maybe I just pop Overgear and avoid losing my main character for a little while. Or, it'll save you at the end. So you got to be paying attention to your duration, because you might be blocking a combo and then all of a sudden your duration runs out and that last bit of chip comes off of a Nen art and then you're dead. So.
So it's
Yeah, I mean, well, it sounds like this is definitely
cool.
a super strong comeback mechanic, or, you know, obviously a tool to give you an edge in finishing off the round or opponents of the team. But what are some of the other universal mechanics that we can expect to see in the game?
So follow up on net art, a lot of these are special cancelable. So, or follow up on overgear. So last thing on overgear is you can combo into it. You can cancel into it mid combo. So very, very easy for you to just instantly kill somebody off. But beyond that, we've got a really wide list of additional mechanics. I'm going to go through all of them. So standing impact is just the impact button. That's just pressing X. That will just get people off of you. It'll send them full screen. It's a little bit of a neutral reset. You've got the crouching impact, which is kind of a bit of an anti-air, more of a traditional standing anti-air for anybody jumping in on you. You can use it in a little bit of mid combos. You've got the piercing attack and piercing tech, which is a bit of a throw. You're teching it is a little bit difficult, so that's something to keep in mind. You've got the switching arts, which is just switching characters in and out, but then you also have your follow-ups to snapping characters. So that's the ejection attack. That costs 100 meter, so it is a little bit more, you know, you can't just do it for free, but because characters are vulnerable coming in, when you're snapping, you can then set up mixes like a lot of other tag fighters and really start to lay in your pressure. You've got reversal switch, which is the opposite end of that. So if you're being attacked, you can swap character out from a blocking standpoint. We've talked about switching arts and unison arts and you know, all of the level 3s. On top of overgear, which is hitting all of the buttons all at the same time. So it really is kind of, sometimes it can be kind of a panic button of like, I'm just hit everything all at once. You also have quick gear. So this is the ability to take your recoverable health and cancel it into a reset on your current movement. So it will let you kind of combo cancel actively at the end of the recovery of a move for your gray health, so whatever you have for recoverable. Maybe that's only a little bit because you've only taken a little bit of damage. It can be really, really efficient for combos. It can also be really, really great on defense. If you're attacking back off of your opponent's pressure, you hit, you picked a move, they're about to punish you for that, instantly, quick gear, get yourself back into a defensible position, or you can use it when you're trying to keep up different types of pressure.
That is awesome. I feel like all of these mechanics are really making it not only something that will be fun and exciting to play, but a game that will give you no shortage of options. Just a lot of things to go for, a lot of opportunities. I really love that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of ways that you can utilize a lot of these tools. I've gotten to watch a decent number of advanced players be able to kind of like push a little bit of the boundaries, and I think they only got a couple hours with it. So, you know, if you're here at the show, definitely go check it out over at the booth. Go have a little bit of fun, and you know, even if you're mashing, it's fine.
Speaking of the booth, we've heard a lot about the mechanics. We saw the opening movie, but let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the roster and the characters, and maybe even what kind of characters everyone here at the venue can expect to see over at the booth.
So over at the booth, you guys have the 6 standard characters that are currently that have been shown before in previous iterations, especially over at EVO Japan. And then we were previously at Anime Expo a little while ago, and people got to test the game out a little bit there as well. So obviously, Gon, Killua, Kurapika, Leorio, the crew is all there. Also in that starting 6 was Hisoka and Netero. We've also announced a couple of additional characters, Miriam recently, as well as Machi, Crollo, forget how to pronounce his name, Yugovo. So we've had a decent number of characters already come out. There's still more. People saw some other characters in the opening video that I'm sure they'll be able to, you know, figure out who's making it onto the initial roster. But they have a lot of their signature moves, a lot of stuff that's straight out of the game. Gon has the Jajanken, Killua has Godspeed. You've got Bungee Gum with Hisoka. Kurapika has his chains and his red eyes, which is actually an install. So he's got some fun there, and they've the Bushiroad team's done a really good job of bringing in as much of the iconic elements of every single character, as much as they've been able to. And we're hoping that anime fans are able to kind of find their favorite, find their main, and really just resonate with having fun with their favorite Hunter x Hunter character, because this is the first Hunter x Hunter fighting game like this. It's a brand new experience for a lot of people.
Yeah, I would love to talk more about how these characters came to life in a fighting game, right? Because it's a series that everyone loves, they've seen these characters, but translating the characters into a fighting game form. Let's talk a little bit more about that. How was that process?
So between the Bushiroad team and the Aiding team, they took a lot of, there was a lot of love and care that went into making sure they stayed faithful to the characters. And when I say these guys love Hunter x Hunter, I'm gonna tell a little bit of this is off script. I'm gonna tell a little bit of a story that we went out when I was at EVO Japan, and we did a little bit of karaoke hanging out with the Bushiroad team, and they did. There was karaoke of the Hunter x Hunter intro. So and they knew every word, and it was a great time. And so they, the team really cares about wanting to make sure that the characters feel good. Obviously, you're bringing the characters into a fighting game. You're bringing them into a system. So things have to feel a certain way depending on the type of game you're making. But as far as making sure that the super still evoked, moments from the anime, the skills still felt like they were coming from the characters. You still felt as if you were gonna get to experience what it would be like to, I go back to Hisoka and the bungee gum. Bungee gum is very, very dirty. Bungee gum is a lot of fun, and you can really kind of feel that little bit of power of like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. You get a little bit into that mind of Hisoka of, yeah, I'm not letting you go anywhere.
That is awesome. So we've talked a lot about the controls, the characters, mechanics, but is there anything else you want to mention?
Definitely stick around, because we're going to have the exhibition tournament coming up after this, but we do have some matches from the development team to be able to take a look at, watch, talk about, ask questions. So why don't we get into those?
Yes, let's do it. I'm excited. I want to see it. Let's put that video up right now.
知らずはいいけど相手を間違えたね両者構えて始め
The counter. Down. The corner. The string lasts for so long, bro. Oh my goodness. That is so scary. String is still attached on. It's like, does it never leave? Like, why does it stay on each hit, bruh? Each hit, like, reapplies it, feels like. Oof.
I can tell you
Whoa,
already,
that
the
combo.
movement is looking great. I love it. I love it. I'm also curious to know, like, what were some of the core design philosophies that went into this game? Like, now that we're getting a chance to see it.
Boom, still go. Keep still going, bro. It's crazy.
So, at an initial level, it was
Beast
making
mode?
the characters feel as good as humanly possible, open up options for the new players like I've talked about with the rush combos, and then
there's a lot of dives in this
one-button
game.
specials to let you instantly start unleashing your arts and just kind of get into the game. You can see, currently Killua is constantly using that sort of that upward jump kick special move. That he's got a couple of different flying kicks on top of having the chains, and really his options are kind of more for long range. So I'm surprised that the Kurapika player was willing to get that offensive that quickly.
And I'm also curious, was there any specific reason that you chose a team game for Hunter x Hunter?
So ultimately, it was about trying to showcase as many character abilities as humanly possible. instead of it being kind of a 1v1 game, Bushiroad team thought it would be more suited to have multiple characters, especially, one, it creates a lot of mayhem, one, it ends up being a lot of fun. Also, if you think back to the anime, there's a lot of big team fights. There's plenty of one-on-ones, but there's a lot of characters all involved all at the same time. We wanted you to be able to bring as many of your favorite characters as possible all at the same time. That was that I think I think both the Bushiroad team and the Aiding team were really like in unison.
Yeah, I'm ready off the top head.
And you bring up Aiding, which of course, first thing that comes to mind is that we definitely see a lot of shades of past Aiding games here in this Hunter x Hunter game. And I'm curious to know, obviously, looks and feels very familiar, but what is going to set this game apart from past Aiding games?
I'd say probably one of the more unique things.
Scary. Cook them.
Options.
Yeah, I love how the cards come back with like when you have the bungee gum attached, but that shit is so scary.
Combos. It's not a preset button layout option as we've seen, in other games as people have tried to bring in new players.
Scissors to scissors.
It is something you can turn on and off. So maybe you're going to use the first 2 hits of that combo. Maybe you aren't. Maybe you're going to save it for a different.
No incoming mix
setup.
though.
Like we can see here, Hisoka canceled the auto combo into the special, and wow, that was actually I've not seen that mix. So if we watch here, Hisoka, those first 3 hits, those were auto combo hits, and he canceled into something else. He looked for a different move because he wanted to try and get that cross up back in the corner. So you have that flexibility, you have that variability.
That's a lot of damage, but he's getting cooked.
Individuality as well as. I wouldn't really say
over for bro.
So much as how do you want to dedicate your time? Do you want to dedicate your time?
Keep going afterwards, actually crazy to level 3, and the man is dead as hell. That's crazy.
There's similarities, but also
he got
very
cooked.
vast differences. Or do you want to dedicate your time into specializing around a very, very specific team?
Yeah, the game is looking so good. I'm loving how the movement's looking. We already saw some cheeky mix-ups in there as well. So I just know that once this really gets into the hands of the players, we're really gonna see some nasty stuff. Are you guys expecting that?
I was hoping for characters we haven't seen yet, bruh.
So yesterday we opened up our media room and gave a little bit of access to the 8 players who will be showing up for the exhibition tournament in a little while, and they're asking crazy questions. They're asking stuff that I had never even considered because I've only gotten to spend so much time with the build. But we're talking about different Oki options, different things.
I don't know, teleporting, jump scare, bro. Moving like an animatronic, bro, just there.
Some cool stuff. There's 2 players who refuse to use auto combos. So of the 6, 2 players refused to use auto combos. They said, hey, we're going to do all custom combos. We're going to figure everything out. And they grinded for maybe about an hour. And then everybody else was like, what is the sickest thing I can do with, what is the day 1
Start off dive.
What is the absolute
couldn't get him off of you.
Most unfriendly, just... And these are all competitive fighting game players. They want to win, just for the bragging rights. But there's already a lot of mixed variability options. You can see here.
Auto combo.
We just saw Killua go into a Godspeed walk into a combo, and he's already in the install. The speed at which you can.
Oh, we can still. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, the crowd just saw that one. I'm telling you, there's some ungodly things you can do. And we're still getting
King
characters added to the build. Us in the office who've only gotten to just start to try things out. I think I've had the most time with the build in the America office, and I didn't see that mix coming. I did not block that.
That man be moving, bro. Yeah, of course, the speed from the King. That man is definitely moving. He just overhead. Dude, that man just flashes overhead, bro. He's actually scary, bro. He's moving.
Dead. And to see just how cheap it's gonna get, because anytime you see a tag fighter, you already know the possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
Last is
no,
overhead.
There's a wide range for creativity.
From full
actually
screen,
switch
there's
adjustable
Fury's
while
overhead,
throughout the game,
and he cooks you. That man is actually
coming back from,
actually looking like a
over-
problem
over
already.
CEO.
That's
And
actually
one of the
crazy.
things he
Dude,
said
the
when
speed of
he
the
had talked
overhead.
about getting to trial was,
Hello, bro. You're
I
moving
could
like
kinda
Cell,
do
actually.
anything. Like, I was able to, like, if you think it'll work, it'll probably work. So there's a lot of options there for you to be able to just do a lot of stuff and have a lot of fun. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who's your team right now? Of the characters that we've shown and the
my
characters we've announced, who's your team?
To be totally honest, I cannot decide until I get my hands on the game.
Okay.
I really have to try all the characters for myself. You know, it's easy to be like, oh, I might want to try this character or that character, but whenever it comes to tag games, I want to get my hands on it. I want to see where the synergies are, see who works well together. I think that's really important in a tag game, so I really have to get my hands on it first. So I might be elbowing you later.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
let me play, let me
definitely come play. My suggestion: play Hisoka, play Machi.
Oh, all right.
I saw the players
Taking
on
my
the we'll probably see a couple of Machis. My guess for the tournament.
Monty,
we're gonna
literally,
see a
like,
bunch
her
of
strength just
Machis,
lasted for so long and saved his
Neteros,
life, man. She's on offense, you just can't get away from her.
There's a couple of Killwas, and then maybe one or two.
Because for
Kurapika.
Hisoka,
Like,
at least it
I don't know if
disappears.
everyone's
It
gonna max
disappears
out the
faster,
roster,
bro.
but
But I'm like,
everybody
everybody
was
is like,
Machi
less
might be
grabbing
the day one.
into
This
you
is
could
crazy.
do. Like, Machi's lasted for so
I
long.
thought that feels great when you put the game in the hands of players and they're already like sold on a character and everybody loves a character. I'm sure that's a great feeling for the team. But we've seen some gameplay. We've talked about the game. What do you say it's time to hop into the tournament exhibition? That's going to come up very, very soon, right after this quick break. So don't go anywhere, because we've got some more Hunter x Hunter and Impact gameplay coming right up.
Yay!